if you're not able to take like big vacations and go on extravagant trips, I know a lot of people are really pulling back right now on a lot of big ventures and big things because they don't know what's going on in the world. But you still need little breaks. And some of the things that I found that work really well are just, they don't have to be huge breaks. They're just little breaks, such as walking or taking a bath or listening to your favorite music or watching a great movie, Christmas movie, or picking some flowers or buying flowers, arranging flowers, writing, drawing, swimming, just little breaks. And when you weave that in to your life, you're not as exhausted. It's like you recharged yourself. And we all need that recharging, because you can get worn out really easy. And if you're a woman and you still have your cycle, depending on your cycle, you're going to feel different. Like I'm leading up to my period and I'm like, oh, I don't feel like nothing. I feel like eating cake and watching a movie. And so you just slow it down during the times of your cycle, because then after, obviously you got all this energy and you're like, okay, I'm ready to crush and crank things out. So you just have to go in a rhythm where you get a little bit of everything. Sometimes you're in a more of a nourishing, nurturing, cultivating kind of cozy season, and sometimes you're in more of a grind, show up, push yourself, really get things done. I call it the GSD, get stuff done season. So just depending on where you're at, either way, you can still weave in little bits and pieces of like mini vacations. This morning when I woke up, I always have like a morning reset that I like to do. I actually call it that, my morning reset or my morning refresh. And it's just doing things around the house. I enjoy that. To me, it's therapy. I like to get it done. I go through each room and just kind of tidy up. It feels good. And you're starting the day with a clear mind, a clear space. And I usually have some type of face mask or hair mask because I'm focusing on nourishing my body. I'm using a red light now when I'm in the shower. If I'm brushing my teeth, I put a red light on my face. So I'm combining two things to get maximum, to really get most benefits out of it. So I a lot of times I'll have a face mask on because I'm hard on my skin a little bit, just because I'm in and out of the sun. The air in Arizona is a little bit more polluted. And so I just need to really nourish it. I also don't do any Botox or any fillers or anything. So everything I do is just really trying to nourish the skin as much as I can, keep it hydrated, and keep pollutants out and all of that stuff, just so I feel and look fresh. So this morning I had a face mask on and I did my morning reset, and I thought, I'm going to put on some Christmas music. And I didn't even realize that we were halfway to Christmas today. And I thought, well, it was perfect. It just put me in such a fun, playful mood because I was able to sing along to my favorite songs and I was unloading the dishwasher. It just felt so good, and sometimes you just have to do that. Who cares if you look silly? It's fun. Last night I went in the sauna. We have a sauna here where I live, and it's up on the rooftop and it overlooks the city lights. And I sat in front of I turned on the fire pit, one of the fire pits, and I just relaxed with a friend and we chatted. I brought snacks up, so we ate some yummy snacks. And then when I got home, when I went back to the apartment, I did a little gua sha stone routine. I'm working on these smile lines. I found a video that really helps smooth these out. So I showered, did my face oil, and before I go in the sauna, I like to dry brush before I go in and hydrate with some salt electrolytes. So it's like you're combining things and leveraging your time. So instead of just chit-chatting with a friend, we turned it into a self-care, a couple hours of self-care and relaxation time. So you're combining it all. And I prefer that, if you're going to get together with a friend, my old self would have, this is my old self 20 years ago, I would have went to a restaurant. Yeah, let's go have drinks and chat and get chit chat and really catch up on life or whatever. But you might be catching up on life and and having a good time, but you're destroying your body in the meantime because you're eating a bunch of seed oils, probably at that restaurant. You're spending a bunch of money, and then you're drinking alcohol, which is dehydrating you and destroying and making you age, destroying your body, your liver, making you age. So now I'm really intentional of, it has to be something that's going to nourish and basically like cultivate this healthy regimen. Before I go in the sauna, I always put hair oil in also because it's really dry and damaging to your hair. So I saturate my head with hair oil, I put on conditioner, and what that does is it just helps keep it a little bit moist when you're in there. And that I coordinate it with my hair wash night, so that way you wash your hair after. But these are just things that you can do that really make a big difference. Like just a 10-minute walk. I know morning sunlight is better than afternoon light, but getting outside in nature for 10-15 minutes can really make a big difference. Turning on some upbeat music, you know, that's healthy frequencies, that's nice, happy music in the home. That's the quickest way and the easiest way to redecorate your house is change the music. You can redecorate the whole house. Like you want to declutter, put on some upbeat music. One of my favorite, if you type in Ehrling, EHRLING, it's like tropical saxophone. Oh, I just love it. It'll get you pumped. There's no vulgar language. I think there's one song that says damn, but it's mainly just instrumental, but it gets you in the mood and it'll get you cleaning, get you pumped up in the morning. And so I like to have upbeat music on in the morning to help me kind of get going. Sometimes it's jazz, you know, kind of nice jazz, more calming, and sometimes it's a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more fast-paced, just depending on the season and the day. And likewise at night, when we do our routine that kind of shuts the house down, I'm not going to put on fast, loud, upbeat music. I'm going to dim the lights. I always like to light a candle in the morning and at night. It's just part of really enjoying the moments. Non-toxic candle. Don't be going to Bath & Body Works getting all that garbage and junk. Skip all that stuff. Just a non-toxic candle. I can send you a link to some really good ones that I like, that aren't overpowering, make you choke and, you know, choke on them. But so you're just really creating an atmosphere of this health, wellness. You feel good, you know. In the morning, I like to, if there's berries that need to be washed, I'll start washing some of the produce, getting it prepped. It's just a really nice way to start and end your day. And if you can't do it like that all the time, don't fuss about it. You do what you can with whatever season that you're in. And the nighttime routines are similar to the morning, but it's like you're toning it down. You're shutting the lights. Maybe you're turning on some nice piano music. You know, you're starting this kind of the end of the day so you can climb in bed like, oh, that was so good. And then you sandwich life between those two things. So it's a really nice rhythm. And I find that I'm able to accomplish a lot. Though some of my days might look similar to the day before. I go for a walk every day. It's like the mundane. But if those are healthy things that you enjoy, then keep doing it. And when you let go of the things that are not healthy for you, you realize you have time for all these other wonderful things. Like you literally have so much time to do it if you would stop wasting it and giving your time away to the wrong things. And whatever you're doing in life, you're trading your life for. Like, you're trading your life for whatever it is you're engaging with. So you have to ask, how many hours am I going to put into this relationship that's not going anywhere, or this friendship that's not going anywhere? How many hours am I going to put into these phone calls with somebody who just doesn't want to change and they don't want to listen? How many hours am I going to put into trying to justify and explain my reasonings for things? Like, sometimes we feel like we always have to explain why we're doing what we're doing so we have that person's approval. And I used to have friends like that who'd be like, so what's going on? I'm like, well, just, it's like they're digging and digging and digging and digging. And I'm like, okay, just enough digging. Why do you need to know so many specific details about my life and what I'm doing? And I'm like, man, I just spent an hour on the phone exposing, digging, giving all this information away of what I'm doing, in my life, when I could have been actually doing something during that time. But instead, I gave it to somebody else to take and gossip about, or whatever the case is. So you have to really know when to pull back and cut those things that you're involved in that aren't doing anything. Like, one of the reasons I don't like going out to eat is because you wait. I'm trading my life to wait. Sit in a restaurant, chit chat, and wait for the food. Personally, I don't, sometimes, yeah, but it's not a habitual thing for me, because if I'm at home, I'm either cooking the food or preparing the food, or my husband's doing it, and while he's doing it, I'm doing something else. If I'm at a restaurant waiting for the food, I can't do anything else. Maybe sit and be on my phone, or you're talking to the person next to you or whatever. But for the most part, I don't know, I just like to maximize my time, and leverage my time as much as I can, because time is that's really all you have. If you don't have time and you don't have health, you don't have anything. Doesn't matter how much money you have, doesn't matter, you can't get the time back. You got to take care of your health. Like, there's just things that you have to start putting in order if you want to live this rewarding life, and the rewards start rather quickly. As soon as I stopped being involved in negative relationships or gossipy relationships, or just relationships that weren't going anywhere, always feeling like I had to explain myself so they would understand, why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you living where you're living? Why do you spend so much time on content? Why are you homeschooling? Why? And I'm just like, why do you care so much? Like, why are you asking me all these questions? Tend to your own garden instead of looking over the fence at mine and trying to ask me all these questions. Now, if you're inspired and you're asking because you want to be different and you want to make changes in your life, that's different. Of course, I'm going to share with you, well, this is why I'm doing this, and this is what I found that helps. This is what I've let go of that doesn't help or doesn't serve me. That's different, because they're asking so they could implement those changes in their own life. So there's a difference. But if they don't want to implement the changes and they're just digging so they can give you their opinion on it, well, I think you should just do this or whatever. So you just explained all this stuff, and they're like, well, I don't know about that. Don't know if you should do that. That probably that's not going to work. So just, do your thing. Don't feel like you have to explain everything to everybody all the time. Half of those people aren't going to get it anyways, or they don't have the life that you want anyways. So once you remove all of those types of things that are just sucking energy, taking energy, not producing, you realize you have more money than you think, you have more time than you think, and you have more freedom than you think, but you're putting your own self and your own life in bondage by the choices that you continue to make, by the people that you continue to engage in, by the habits, by what you do daily. You are creating your own reality, basically. This is the why we have free will and we have choice, because we're creating it. So I could be in a very different place based on different choices. Some choices I made were not good choices, but they still led me to where that I truly believe that, like, God will take, even if it's not the right choice, it's a decision that you made at the time. So you made it based on the information that you had, or the level of maturity that you were at, or the level of discernment or wisdom at that time. God can still take that, even if it wasn't the exact right choice that he wanted you to do. He can still take that and he can still use it for a bigger purpose. Like, come back around, and he can redeem the time. He can, all of that stuff. It's not a failure. You keep going. You just keep adjusting and keep pivoting. It's like you dated some people before you found your husband. Well, how did you know unless you dated them? You didn't know. Not everybody's like, that's the one. Some people have no idea that that's the one. So, but it all leads you to where you have to be. The key is to not keep going around the same mountain over and over, to not keep doing the same thing over and over. So if you're still making the decisions, the same things that you made 10 years ago, like, you need to develop, you need to grow, because those decisions may have worked then, those habits and those things may have worked then. I'm not saying change who you are, because specifically God made us all to be individuals, and he gave us gifts and things that he wants us to use in this world. What I'm saying is, you can't keep going around the same mountain. Like, I already know the results of impulse shopping. I don't want those results anymore. I already know the results of eating way too much tiramisu. Ooh, love tiramisu. Hate coffee, but love tiramisu. I already know the results of sitting way too much. I don't want those results. So therefore, I need to change the habits, because I don't want those results. I already know what those results are. It's once you've experienced something, you're like, well, I can probably do better. I don't want to go back to that person the way that I was. So you have to be willing to make those changes, and you have to be willing to let some of the relationships for the time being. Maybe put them aside on the back burner or whatever until you are strong enough to create this new movement, this new rhythm, this new routine, these new routines. And it is the reason I'm posting these videos every single day, because it is a daily reminder. Like, you know, you listen to something and then the next day you could go back to your old self. So it's a daily thing. You're feeding your mind daily. And I do it for me too, because I can still fall back into certain things. I mean, today I felt like doing nothing except watching movies and laying around. I'm like, no, I'm going to get out for a walk. And then of course you're like, well, it's too hot out. It's 100 something degrees. Yeah, well, you know, because I want the results of how that feels that I got outside for 30 minutes and I got some sunshine and I moved my body. Remember, it's always it's like your lowest self and your highest self are always, you know, they're at war with each other. It's this lower version and this higher version. It's the lower you that's like, yeah, just do whatever, you know. And this is why addictions are so strong, because the lower you's not really thinking clearly. It's the one that moves into impulse. It's the one that's going to make that alcoholic beverage. It's the one that's reaching for this. It's the one that snaps and reacts instead of responding. It's that one that's doing all of those impulse moves without really thinking. Your highest self takes a lot more thinking, because you're like, okay, I'm going to assess the situation. I'm going to respond before I react, freak out, or whatever. And I'm going to make a wise choice. So it takes a lot more energy. So you might find yourself being a little bit more tired when you are moving more into your highest self, because it takes a little bit more energy to make those decisions. You got to think more. And it feels awkward because it's something that you normally wouldn't do. You're like, oh, I normally wouldn't do this, but I'm going to. Like, sometimes I need to walk on the other side of the track. I always go the right way. Well, why not the left way? I don't know. I always go this way. Very rarely do I do the other way. So maybe I'll start turning the other way. So you have to just do things that are a little bit different sometimes to retrain yourself that different's okay, you know, and you're going to learn something new when you take a different path or you do something different. That doesn't mean to turn away from your values and your core beliefs. It just means you're polishing up those areas in your life that need a little bit of tightening. They need to get a little bit more in order. You're tying up those loose ends. You're polishing things. You know, you're just getting a little bit better, a little bit detailed. So it's this process of just getting a little bit better and a little bit better. Like if you're struggling to go through clutter, it might take you 10 times to go through the same closet. That's okay. The first time, you'll make some progress. You'll make more progress towards the end, though. In the beginning, it's always usually the hardest. I don't know what to get rid of. Should I keep this? You're contemplating with yourself. I'm here to tell you, let that crap go. Let that junk go. You don't need 100 purses. You don't need jeans that you had in high school. You're never going to fit into again. And if you are going to fit into them, you would have already. So by keeping it isn't making you change. That's not strong enough. Well, if I hold on to this, it's going to motivate me to get in shape. No, it's not, because it already would have. Clearly, that's not the motivator. So you need something else that's going to motivate you. So when you're cleaning stuff out, you might have to go back into that closet or that room a few more times and a few more times until you get to that last time and you start feeling more and more liberated and you're like, yes, now I can breathe. Now there's space. Now I know what I love and what was holding me back. It starts getting really clear as to what is meaningful and what's not. A lot of the things that I thought, oh, I'm going to miss this. I mean, I went back and forth with shoes, and then I thought, man, these are brand new shoes. These are nice heels. I like this color, but they were so uncomfortable. I couldn't barely walk in them. I'm like, well, they're brand new, you know, I should keep them. I'll wear them. I'm looking around in my closet. They don't even match anything that I have. Why am I even holding on to them? And I held on to them for like 2 years. Still didn't wear them. I finally let them go. I finally thought, you know what, just get them out of here. And then at first I'm like, well, I'm going to miss them. I don't miss them. I'm never going to wear them. If I was going to wear them, I would have worn them. You know, so you have to think about that. If you were going to do something, you would have already done it. The things that I wear every day, those are the things that I wear every day. So it's like, just take a really clear look at, you know, obviously like Christmas stuff. I'm not going to have my tree up all year round, though sometimes I want to. You know, that comes out at a certain time of year or whatever. And winter boots, I'm not going to wear in the summertime, so I'm going to keep those for winter. But you get what I'm saying. There's a lot of things that don't fit into those categories that you're not going to use or wear that you could let go of. That's going to clear the clutter, clear the space, and it's really going to help you and give you more of an identity of who you are, what are the things that you love, what are the things that are holding you back. It's a powerful season when you're decluttering and resetting your life. But you don't want to stay there your whole life. You don't want to be decluttering and resetting your whole life. You know, that, because you're still trading your life to do it. If you're taking a year to declutter your house, you just traded a year to go through stuff. You traded your life for stuff. No matter how you look at it, that you still did it. Whether you brought the stuff in or you're going through it to get it out, you're still trading your life for that stuff. So you don't want to, you break it up into seasons. This is why I do from like January to March or April. Okay, so you got a good 3-4 month chunk. That's your decluttering time. That's when you're purging. That's when you're streamlining, you're letting go, you're cutting the fat, you're pruning, you're really letting go of things. Then just move on at that point. Maybe you get rid of stuff here, a little bit here and there, but you don't want to stay in that season because it's taking your attention. So I'm out of my declutter season. If you're following me on Instagram, you notice I'm not showcasing big loads that I'm getting rid of because I'm kind of done for the year. And then, or for a while anyways, and then you move into a different thing. Now my emphasis, my focus is on other things. It's not on decluttering or purging or pruning. That's my kind of my spring reset or my beginning of the year kind of reset. So you don't want to spend all year doing it, but it doesn't matter what time of year. If you're feeling in the middle of summer, I need to get rid of stuff, then do it. Just get it done so you can move on and you're not spending your life in this controversial, should I keep it, should I not keep it, or this fuzzy state of indecision. I don't know what to do, you know, because your time's ticking, clock's ticking. What are you gonna do? Make a decision. You let it go, or you have more of the same. You choose.